Welcome, everyone. This is Joe Dager, the host of the Business 901 podcast. With me today is Mark Hunter. Mark is a thought leader, and I might add, a great speaker in the field of sales. He is also the author of two amazing books, High Profit Selling and his new book, High Profit Prospecting. He has branded himself as the Sales Hunter, which I guess is the best place to start, Mark. Mark, welcome. And what is the why and the what of the Sales Hunter?
Well, when your father was fortunate to give you the last name of Hunter, you gotta use it in your business. So, it really is. It's what I like to say is my whole goal is to help people find and retain better customers that they can close at full price. Hey, who doesn't want to do that?
Sure.
That kind of gets me a lot of business.
Well, it certainly does, I bet. And I guess I have to ask you, title of your books, you seemed, smitten, maybe is the right word, with that word high profit. Okay, what's the distinction when you're talking high profit? Is it sell it at full price?
Well, it is, because here's the thing that I love to say: you can't take a Walmart shopper and make them a Nordstrom customer. Stop and think about that. How many times have we had to discount a sale to close the sale? And maybe it's because we were prospecting the wrong person. If you prospect the right person to begin with, then you can have a greater probability of closing them at full price, and really not just full price, but even a higher price, because they're going to see that much more value, that much more outcome from what you have to offer.
I always think when I'm down there selling someone and they're asking me the why and how it works and all these functional type questions, lots of times I'm going to get that bottom line price. But if I'm up talking to someone that's talking about value, all right, and how it's going to extend into my company, I'm having a different conversation, right? Oh,
yeah, different. And what's interesting is I really like to use the word outcome. It's value we're creating, but it's really the outcome. And if you think about it, we've gone through this era where, you talk about product features. No, talk about benefits. Oh, that just bores me to death. When we talk about outcomes, what's the outcome that the customer is looking for? And if I'm asked to put a price tag on the table before I've really been able to validate your outcome, I know you're only a shop price. You're a price shopper. And I don't want to do business with you. So again, this is why I've got to use a prospecting process that allows me to validate your outcome that much earlier, that much sooner.
This day and age, I want to frame this conversation, though, before we go too far. What do you mean by prospecting?
Well, that it means really not just getting a lead, because let me tell you something. There are so many lead generation tools out there. We can generate leads. When I mean prospecting, that means a qualified person who can buy from me. That's what I want to do. My whole goal in prospecting is to really have fewer prospects. Whoa! What did he just say? Yeah. Fewer prospects. Here's where I'm going with this. One of the challenges salespeople have is they get all these leads, and just because somebody responds or somebody fills something out or something, they think they're a prospect. No, they're not. All they are is a suspect. What I want to do is I want to have prospects, but I don't want to have too many prospects. My whole goal is to really have fewer prospects that I can spend more time with. If I have fewer prospects I can spend more time with, I'll have a greater ability to validate their outcome, build on their outcome, and really provide them the value solution that they're looking for. What does that allow me to do? It really allows me to close more deals at a higher profit.
Well, you mentioned there's a lot of ways to get leads. I mean, a lot of people are buying leads now. I know a lot of financial guys that they get text a lead or, a lead sent to them and being texted, sent to 5 other people, so they have to respond, be one of the first ones there. And there's other services that create those leads for. Are they worthwhile? I mean, is that part of prospecting today?
Well, they can be worthwhile, but I got to validate them quickly. Let me share with you the thought, because this is really one of the outcomes of social media. If you think about it, social media, you get all these connections, and I'll tell you right now, you can't eat clicks and likes. You just can't eat. I've never found a way to put a click or a like on a plate and be able to eat it. And what I have to be cautious of, and I love social media, but here's a tweetable moment. Hashtag social media without social connection is social stupidity. You see, what I got to do is I got to get to that one-to-one relationship. Only when I get to that one-to-one relationship do I really have an opportunity to validate what your outcome is. Up to that point, all you're doing is finding out about me. Oh, really finding out about my features. If you really think about this, what are you doing? When you connect with me in social media and just in this broad general world, you're finding all these things out about me. What does that do? That almost creates a price-oriented world. So what I want to do is I want to get to this one-to-one relationship. Now, here's my nirvana of a perfect prospect. When I ask the prospect a question and they go, "Great question." Now stop and think about that for a moment. When that prospect says, "Great question," what is it doing? It means they're having to think. It means I'm having to think. It means we got a discussion. And when I can get you as a prospect into that level of discussion, now I've got a high profit prospect. What does that allow me to do? It allows me to really help you achieve a higher value outcome. What does it allow me to do? It allows me to have a more satisfied customer. What does it allow both of us to do? Really to create more money, because you're more satisfied and I can charge full price or even a higher price. I want to maximize my revenue opportunities.
I've read High Profit Prospecting. I've listened to it, I think, twice now, okay? The audio is nicely done. I want to make sure I compliment you on that before you get away from me, okay? Great book. It makes a lot of sense and a lot of practical stuff you can put to use. What's the best way for someone to learn more, contact you? Of course, High Profit Prospecting is on Amazon, but where else do I find it?
Yeah, you can. Hey, jump out to thesaleshunter.com. When you got that name, you got to use it, thesaleshunter.com. You jump out to the website. There's a ton of things out there that you can download, you can use. And hey, of course, you can find me on social media. I'm all over social media. I'm all over LinkedIn. I'm all over Facebook. I'm all over Twitter. And I'm all over YouTube. But engage with me, because I love it when people, in fact, it's funny. Just yesterday, a gentleman, he was reading the book, sent me a question by way of Twitter. I loved it. Send him back a quick note. I said, "Hey, I'll have more time tomorrow. I'll get you a better response." But I love engaging with people, so don't hesitate. And hey, let me give people my number, because you know what? I talk about the telephone, 402-445-2110. How's that? You got my telephone number. There you go.
I think that's awesome, Mark, and I hope someone burns your line up with it, okay?
I love it.
So, okay, I'd like to thank you very much. This podcast will be available in the Business 901 iTunes Store and the Business 901 blog site. So, thanks to all the listeners out there.
Great selling.